So I'm really excited about the lineup of events I've got coming up to close out December and kick off January, starting with tonight's event on Thursday at 8 p.m. Mountain on presence. What is presence really? It's simply our ability to flow with what's happening around us, to take in the bigger picture, and not necessarily attach to individual pieces so that we can enjoy everything that's happening. In work, that means we're able to focus on the opportunities that matter, and we're aware of everything happening around us, and we're able to adapt and adjust, but we're not grabbing on or hanging on to certain expectations so tightly that we create a forceful experience for ourselves, a resistance, an anxiety, a churning that distracts us from what matters the most. And when we're fully present, we're able to enjoy every moment that we have, whether we are recording a video for our amazing audience, or if we are on a call supporting a client, or if we are at home having dinner with family, or on the beach just sipping a Mai Tai. Whatever we're doing, it's about being able to fully sit in this moment without needing to grab control. And even stilling our mind is a form of control. What if you didn't have to still your mind at all? What if your mind naturally stilled to the level it needed to be able to take it all in and focus on what mattered? So tonight's event, we're going to spend an hour exploring presence. That means I'm going to take you on a guided visualization into your own energetic landscape. And I'm going to give you a ton of tools that you can use on those days when your brain is frayed and you're freaking out with what you need to do. I'm going to give you a bunch of different tools you can use to cut cords, to pull out threads, to allow the junk drawer to sort itself out. I did that with a client this week, which was her big like aha moment. Wait, you mean I don't have to do anything? I can just open the drawer and shine a flashlight in and it organizes itself. So I'm giving you new ways to tap into the energy in your body. Now let's talk about why visualization. Visualization is a tool. It's not the only tool, but it's a tool that helps us create some sort of mental construct that our entire body can understand. And it is our body that stores these different energetic experiences. Think about it. How much of your reactions happen without you actually being aware that they're happening? It's because your entire body is one big system just primed to act or take action on what it's sensing in the environment. Working with your energy is actually a feeling thing. It's feeling physically the energy movement in your body. It might feel like chills, like tension, like release. Suddenly you're like, oh, that AT band is really bugging me. I wonder why that is, right? That's a ball up in your energy. So becoming aware of those places where your energy is tension or it has stagnation, and being able to circulate and shift it allows us to open up so much more. The pathway to the body can be through physically touching it and feeling it, but it can also be through creating these mental constructs that give our brain something to wrap itself around so that we can then create or have that feeling-based experience that our body needs to process the energy. So it simplifies it when you go through a guided visualization. You get to envision something and then bam, it happens. And suddenly you're like, it was that easy. I can't tell you the number of times people pull me aside. I had this today with a client and she's like, it is so simple. I had no idea it was this simple. And that's what these sessions are all about creating. You walk away with a bunch of different experiences. I'll take you through a bunch of different mini visualizations. And you get to pick which ones worked for you and go play with those more. And the ones that didn't, you ignore them. In fact, I encourage people to zone out at my sessions because you know what? I trust that part of you is listening, and the part of you that needs to hear different pieces of that session are going to tune back in right when you need it the most. Heck, I do dishes half the time when I'm on these kinds of things. And then all of a sudden I pause and I'm like, ooh, this is important. I'm going to go sit down. And then I take it in. So do whatever you got to do. I don't care if you're laying in bed, doing dishes, walking the dog, or just sitting and listening. But experience it, let your brain tune in and out to the parts that are relevant to you, and then go play with it. That's all this work is. And from there, you're going to be dramatically surprised at how much easy your work life can sort itself out. So that is tonight's presence workshop, along with a little bit of a diatribe on why these workshops. Let's see, December 27th will be the next one. I'm really excited about that. That one is going to be on thresholds and transitions. So getting ready for the new year, we're going to be playing across timelines. So I'll be giving you some tools to start to play with work in the future and the past. So very, we're presence, we're kind of holding it all and sitting still. In thresholds and transitions, we're actually playing with dancing across different opportunities and options, and giving ourselves the space to not attach to those and to let those unfold a little bit more organically. So I'm really excited. It's a perfect way to set the framework and the groundwork for the next year, and also to give yourself space and pause in this time of transition to set intentions that really matter. One of my favorite things that my son said to me recently, he's in business, he's getting his degree as associates in business, and he went to an initial entry level business class, and they had to do a Gantt chart. For any of you guys that have been project managers, you know what that means. If you haven't, just think of it as a timeline, right? You're laying out all the tasks that need to be done on a visual timeline. And what he said was so wise. He told me the Gantt chart was easy, but it was hard knowing what to put in it. Manifesting is the same way. It's actually very easy to manifest. What is hard is actually learning how to identify what you really want to manifest. Because we think of things in surface level often, not in what we're really after and how we connect those dots. And so playing in this liminal space, playing in these thresholds and transitions actually helps you shape what you want. It's just as important as going after it, because if you don't actually know what you're going after, you're not going to be able to manifest it, because we can only manifest or call in what we are aligned to, what is meant for us, what is in our path, what feels like energetically and magnetically charged, right? That's what we manifest. We don't just say, I want this, therefore I have this. That's not the way it works. And it's an overused term. But if you're going to call that into you, it starts with understanding what it is that you want. And so we're going to start to play with that very loosely on the 27th of December. Then heading into the new year, on January 7th, I have another session, and that is Heal. Heal is all about getting to know your body. We are actually going to learn how to create the space for our body to physically, emotionally, energetically heal. So January is all going to be about laying foundations for physically working with your body. I'm going to teach you how to work with symptoms. I'm going to teach you how to work with pain. I'm going to teach you how to work with things that you want to be true within your body that aren't necessarily true today. And how do you actually walk yourself through the process of understanding what's really happening and allow that the energy to shift and allow it to resolve. So I'm really, really excited for January, because that is such a core foundation, knowing how to work with your body, with your energy as an ally. So all the sessions in January go into specific things around that. And then we close out the month heading into February, where we're going to dive deep into desires. So in February, we're going to be covering what is important to you. What do you really want? Okay, you think you want that, but what's the desire beneath the desire? So we're going to dive into what it means to feel passion, to feel creativity, to understand what you want, what you crave. Really starting to get into those parts of our calling, our compass, and feeling them and experiencing them again. And then from there, we'll move into March, which is going to be a fabulous month of emergence, where we start to focus on how do you put your head above ground, right? It's coming into spring. I want to poke my head up and see what's happening. So this is when we start to really get into emergence. How do we come out of our shells? How do we re-enter the world? How do we decide what seeds we're planting? And then as we head into spring, we'll plant some seeds and we'll go into summer. So we are going to follow the seasonal arc this year of how our energy naturally aligns to the cycles of nature and the cycles of life. So I would love to see what any of these sessions, if any of them call to you, please just book on Eventbrite. Follow me as an organizer, and you'll be able to get all of that. Also sign up for my email list, and I'm going to start sending kind of little summaries of what's coming up. And then if you love them, you can actually purchase the download. So if you want to reach out to me, and you can purchase the downloads. So you can actually get an MP3 copy of the session to re-access whenever you want. So if you have a favorite. And if you are in the membership community, you have access to every single recording I've ever done. So you'll get 4 sessions per month fresh that you can attend live and basically get personalized support on. Also, you will have full access to the library of every session I've recorded. So your tanks are running dry and you need a pick me up, hit the play button on Energize. If you don't feel like listening to it, I have a summary actually of every tool we used. So if you just need to quickly recap and scroll through that and be like, ooh, that's the one I want to use, you can do that. So that's what the membership community has, is they have full access to all the recordings, live attendance, as well as the summary sheets, and then a community where they can ask me questions, get it personalized at any time. So I would love to see you at one of these events. And let me know if you have any questions or are curious, or if you want to sample. I do consults. So I'd love to get on the phone with you and give you just a little bit of a preview, because frankly, it's one thing to listen to me talk about it for 10 minutes. It's another to actually experience it. So I hope to see you either on my consult book in one of my sessions, or just DM me and we will talk very soon. Bye.